Picture it. Close your eyes if you want, but if I'm to be completely honest, closing your eyes isn't needed to become a part of this story. Okay, so there's a 7-year-old sitting in her mom's car on her way to see Blue's Clues, or maybe it was Sesame Street, on the Murat Theater, and in the car the radio is playing. And it's some ad about how expensive college is and how whatever company they happen to be, they can help you pay back those pesky college loans. And so, hearing this brilliant 7-year-old child goes, "Mom, you won't ever have to worry about having to help me pay for college. I'm gonna get scholarships and study engineering." For those of you who actually did close your eyes, the 7-year-old in the story was me. And now that I'm older, I'm not gonna say that I'd kick myself, but I definitely set the bar really high. I sat down in the Sandbox. I invited myself to the Sandbox. That is the design and build industry. Yeah, that's right. I plopped down with my shovel, my pail, and I was advanced, so I had a hard hat, and I started to build. And granted, the first few sandcastles weren't masterpieces, but my cousins saw what fun I was having, so they decided to join me. And I mean, they tried to help, I think, but that's where I learned that managing people is impossible. Side note. Now that I've gone through my first semester at Ball State University, I now know that one does not manage people. People are not objects to be used and then tossed aside when their specific task is done. One leads people, and no one teaches you that at 7. So all our sandcastles kind of look like a hodgepodge of ideas, and it was mostly because the older cousins assumed that I was still a baby, and the younger cousins were actually babies, so they didn't understand the instructions. And from sandcastles, I went to marble roller coasters, and then from marble roller coasters, I went to battery-operated Lego cars. Like, I mean, these things were legit. All right, I would hit a button, and the doors would open up. The spoiler would pop out, and they were worth every penny, and I spent too many pennies. But it's okay, because they nurtured the love of building I had, and it was great. And so when teachers would ask all the other kids what they wanted to be when they grew up, with the same enthusiasm as the princesses, astronauts, and professional athletes, I said mechanical engineer. And when they said, "Really? Why?" I was like, "It's because I want to learn how things work, and then I want to take that knowledge, and I want to create something out of nothing, and I want to help people." And even though I had a great reason, I started to feel lonely in my sandbox. Fast forward, 7-year-old me is now in middle school, so I'm about 11. I excelled at the marble roller coaster unit that our science teacher had, and because of that, she had me apply to the minority engineering program of Indianapolis. In MePi, I got to sit in a room where the people look like me, and then learn about how some of the most successful builders also look like me, and it was surreal, and it was cool, and it was different, which is sad. But I also learned all the other disciplines of engineering, and so from there I started to dabble in the other ones and try to narrow it down to which one I wanted. And I also became a part of Science Olympiad, and yeah, I became a part of Science Olympiad. Science Olympiad is basically a glorified science team, to be honest. It's a group of 15, it's a team of 15 students competing in about 30 different events that vary in difficulty. And so they fall in the category of either build or study, and since, I mean, I can study, I will study, but I participated in most of the build events. And it was great. It gave me one day where I could sit and just be around a bunch of people that were my age that loved the design and build industry as much as I did, and my sandbox grew to the size of Butler University. It made choosing a career in this field a valid option, and it was amazing. So when I transitioned into high school, I continued with Science Olympiad, and I also joined ACE. All right, so everything I said sounded really good, right? You don't have to answer that, I know. My 12-year design and build industry run seems like it's been fantastic, but let's face the facts, it wasn't. During my most impressionable age, no one talks about the field I love. The industry lacks marketing. When it is talked about, it's not normally done by professionals. But even when it is done by professionals, construction management's often left out. And the rigorous course load of the engineer is the only thing that's ever brought up. And there might occasionally be an offhanded comment about architecture, which is kind of awkward. But it's upsetting. I feel like we just need to, if we went to the classrooms where these workers were and we sat them down and we had them become a part of our sandbox, we could show them what we did. And I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, someone's gonna wanna join in because this field is ever changing. It's beautiful. And on the bright side, this all changed when I became a part of ACE. And oh, that's not how that goes. Oh man. Okay, I'm sorry. The industry's gold collar, and it's because it's ever changing. It requires the white collar management and the blue collar labor. I'm not sure how white and blue make gold, but it's a thing and it's cool. And I learned more about it when I joined ACE. ACE is amazing. ACE is opportunity. ACE takes what most of the people in this audience might consider a typical day on the job and breaks it into bite-sized pieces to make kids my age and, well, high schoolers now, because I'm not a high schooler anymore, and has them do that. ACE gets the kids that never ever would consider presenting excited to talk about their project, whether it be the office space in a hospital or a fire station on the motor speedway, and present in front of professionals. And it's amazing. I mean, they offer scholarships. And that scholarships alone just make picking a career in this field even more possible because school's expensive. It's annoying how expensive it is. And so it's also catered by Panera. Like, that's a brilliant choice. If there's food and like students, you'll probably get a large turnout. So that's just a marketing strategy as well. It also helps you network, which is beautiful because I feel like if you just taught us how to become a part of this hidden industry, there wouldn't be an employee shortage. ACE also doesn't treat the girl that loves building as someone that wants to be considered as one of the guys, which is odd because every time I join something slightly build-related, everyone assumes that I want to be treated as one of the guys. And let's get something straight. While I do not require special treatment due to the fact that I am a girl, I don't want anyone to forget that first and foremost, I am a lady. I design and build because I love it. And unless one of the guys changes colloquially to mean equal pay and respect, it's not cool to treat me that way. And I'm pretty sure that the 8.9% of women in construction, the 14, well actually I think it's 17 in architecture, but it took them 15 years to make the jump from 9 to get there. And the 14% of women in engineering feel the exact same way. And as a woman in this industry, there are moments where I'm being approached to join a team, but it doesn't feel like it's being done because I'm a dependable worker. It feels like it's happening because they need someone to help increase their number, which is ridiculous because some of my favorite mentors in ACE were the women. I think that's another thing that I really liked about ACE, is that the involvement with women. I mean, not only are most of the students girls, but so are some of the mentors and most of the scholarship winners. And when it came to the big presentation night, most of the presenters were the girls in the groups as well. And they're the ones that got heavily involved, and it was amazing. They're the ones that sat down and got dirty and had us, they're the ones that showed us the ropes and everything. So provide us the resources to get involved in this field. Because if you just sat down and showed everyone that this industry isn't hidden and you handed a few kids a shovel or a pail or a hard hat because they're kind of cool, they might stay in the sandbox. You know, help us network. And don't always treat the woman as a number. It's not nice. Thanks. have questions, I can answer them. Yes.
Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
10 years from now, hopefully helping people. I know that's awkwardly broad. This summer I'm working at ERMCO, and so I'm going to see where that takes me. 10 years, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to own my own business maybe. Thank you. I realized that I kind of enjoy speaking as well, and so, I mean...
We've got salespeople here, we all love to talk.
All right, well, not only do I enjoy speaking, but I've realized that I'm actually kind of good at it too. So, I mean, if I could continue going around talking about how to get millennials, women, minorities as a whole, involved in this field, I think I'd be okay. Thanks.